Alrighty, well, welcome to update 68. We have the summer block party. Now, this update seems very interesting, mostly because there's a lot of little secrets that you're able to find inside of the game. You have RNG placed with eggs. It kind of reminds me of the back rooms, but without the back rooms and spooky stuff. And there is a new secret huge, which honestly looks really sick. But let's go ahead and get into those details for this update specifically today. Number one is you're going to notice this little room. This little room has a picket sign with some question marks on it. I had to take a picture of it because eventually I ran into 4 of these rooms. Now, a lot of players out there have a question. What does it do and how do you activate it? How do you find out what's behind the sign? What is the reason of what this is used for? Apparently, a lot of players out there are saying that this is primarily used to unlock the secret that's inside of the egg. Now, afterwards, I was able to find the secret huge that was inside of the egg. Obviously, at some point, you guys are seeing me use free cam, and there's nothing around, nothing inside, nothing surrounding this box that kind of indicates anything beyond what we're seeing right now. Now, what makes this room a little bit interesting is Linty made a post on Twitter basically saying that they found the secret and they have a 2-hour temporary boost to secret luck. Now, what I noticed is when I actually went into all 4 rooms, I didn't have that little question mark boost, nor did I notice anything on the bottom left screen for any type of indication that a boost was active. So, I'm not entirely sure if this room has any correlation to this boost specifically, or maybe just perhaps that it wasn't added because this is very early on during the update. But of course, I can only hyper-focus on this entire mystery, secret, whatever you guys want to go ahead and call it, for so long. I have been rebirthing and rebirthing and rebirthing. Now, speaking of rebirthing, I know there's a lot of players out there also asking that question. Is it worth rebirthing over and over and over? And the answer is yes. It's going to be extremely time consuming. Obviously, the more that you rebirth, the longer it will take to go ahead and maximize your entire zone. And this is primarily because your little upgrades are going to cost more. Each individual zone is going to cost more, and you get multipliers. However, the multiplier will only carry you for so long. So of course, you have to make sure that you're buying every single upgrade as you go. As you can tell, I'm on Rebirth 2. My multiplier is on 11. It's basically almost at 12 times. I'm on Rebirth 10, and currently my base multiplier for my coins is 8.85 times, meaning that it's not all the way up as it should be, and this is primarily because I'm not upgrading everything as I'm going. I believe somewhere around Rebirth 9 or 8, somewhere around there, before I reached Rebirth 10, I did find something that I didn't know that was inside of the game, and that was a Titanic tile. Now, you do have a variation of what the percentage might actually be. I've seen afterwards that the percentage that I had kind of stinks. However, I was able to see that the percentage does go up, I believe, to 2% from what I've already seen photos of. Now, of course, I don't know what the highest one is, but you do have a chance of just getting a Titanic from one of the tiles. They did have an whoopsie moment, and they accidentally gave away the Titanic sandcastle kraken from the tile itself when it should have been the little griffin. So I don't know if those were removed or if they were replaced, but it seems like they accidentally gave the wrong Titanic out, which has been fixed, of course. But what do the percentages look like for the Secret Angelus? Okay, so we currently have the base for just the egg itself. This is just the normal 1x egg that we currently have inside of the game. Now, these are big numbers. These are things that you would normally see maybe perhaps for like bubblegum simulator math equations. So obviously we have the huge splash Angelus, which is this equation right here. If we were to do fractions and everything, it's literally 1 out of 10 billion. Yes, 1 out of 10 billion, just for the base. For the Titanic, I don't even want to substitute the math equation for this. This is crazy. This is like some Albert Einstein math equations. Like, you have to find the top tier eggs within the event. Otherwise, you will not have a chance unless you are extremely, extremely lucky to just find it with the base eggs that you find in the game. Let's say hypothetically you guys were able to find the 100 times egg. This is our chance to hatch it. This is equivalent to 1 out of 100 million. Obviously, the Titanic does not change because this only affects the huges. This is somewhat of a crazy number, but because it is a secret, it's completely understandable. But what about the Titanic? What are the little math equations for this, right? So I recorded mostly everything during the weekend, the day of the update. We are currently on Monday and it is 8:37 in the morning. I'm on Rebirth 10 right now. So the secret relic itself has absolutely nothing to do with the room itself that you would see that has the question marks. What that room specifically does, I'm not entirely sure. If it unlocks the secret huge that's inside of the game, then that's one thing. However, as you're looking right now, I have the secret relic and it's on its very own dedicated tile. I am not going to touch it, mostly because I want to be able to find the highest tier egg in this little area. Now, I might get lucky or I might get unlucky with the RNG on what egg is going to show up. I'm also a little scared to go ahead and see because I'm pretty much 31% done with this and this is going to take a while to do. Obviously, for those that are not on Rebirth 10, you are basically seeing the numerical amount that each and every single individual block is going to cost. And we are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks outwards. So the more that you end up upgrading, the more expensive every single one is going to be. So expect to be here for an hour, 2 hours if you're going and rebirthing for every single one. What I thought about for a hot second is, what if every single failure function that is inside the game, such as the clown cat, the nightmare cat, aka the blue cat Frank, empty tiles such as the ones that you see right over here, anything that is not useful might be a ploy, meaning that this is the actual secret that Big Games was referring to. Of course, we don't know what the room specifically does, so the only assumption is me specifically saying that this might actually be the real secret and that you have to be extremely lucky to find it. Though this is just a bit of a theory on my end and this is not confirmed by anyone, this is the only reasonable thing that I can go ahead and say without a doubt that this actually might be true. Of course, because this tile is its own dedicated entity and everything else, you guys can go ahead and let me know down below in the comments on what you think. What do you think the true secret of the room is? Do you think it's a ploy? Do you think it might be a failure function room? Or do you believe that there is something in that room that we are not aware of? So I have been here for at least an hour and a half, and I have not been able to find anything other than just a 5 times huge. Now, you do need to get something that is extremely high for that secret thing to even be useful. Now, if we're taking this specific egg here, our chances of getting this huge will be shown on the screen right now. Obviously, this is a very, very, very impossible chance. And to be quite honest, I'm not sure how much this actually boosts anything up if you actually get it. It doesn't tell you anything other than just saying a secret chance. Could it be double the luck, triple the luck? It's hard to say, but I am still hoping that maybe perhaps some of the tiles that I have left, which is not many, can actually unlock something a little bit better. Obviously, I would love to be able to get something at least 25%. Otherwise, we might be stuck. And to be real, I only have a few blocks left. I have perhaps 3 around here, this entire row, so hopefully maybe something will be here, and a few right over here, and obviously the final ones right over here before it actually connects to the secret relic. However, there is a Titanic tile that I want to go ahead and touch real quick because I want to see what comes out of this. Now, this is a 1% chance of getting it. Now, that's not too bad considering that, you know, obviously Titanics are relatively rare to get. This is still a 1% chance. And it looks like I got a huge pet. So I'm really, really happy that we were able... Oh my god! Oh! Wait, what? Bob! 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 Oh, we got Bob! Woo, woo. Dude, I've officially lost my voice after screaming like that. I don't know what to say. Honestly, I didn't expect to get the Titanic. I'll be real. This thing's just here. This is like almost getting the corrupt Titanic agony at the time when I actually got it. Dude, this is so random. He's just over there grinding now because he's just chilling. Technically, it's Bob, so why not? Maybe he just wanted to come and be hatched. I don't know. Well, while my voice recovers, I am gonna go ahead and buy the rest of the eggs. I actually need to get something that is 25 times at the very least. So I'm really hoping that one of these actually do have it. And if I don't end up getting it, I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I'm totally happy with what I've got so far. All right, so it looks like all of the other outer tiles are complete. And my final two are going to be right here. And I think it's going to be a bit of a bust. And that's okay. All right, so every single one of these are officially cleared out. So I gotta go and claim this real quick and we'll see what it says. Okay, so I got secret luck increased by 10%. So not only do we have a 10%, we also have a 5 times for the actual egg itself. Is that really gonna help us out? I'm not too sure. So 10% is a big deal. Actually, if you were to like actually go and sit here and hatch, 2 hours though, that is a big number. 2 hours is hard to say. I would have to do some math behind that actually. So remember the percentages that I gave you guys earlier with the egg itself for the 5 times? Well, we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick because I'm interested because 10% is a lot. So let's do that. Okay, so I did the math equation for this and I'll be honest, it's not that big of a difference. Now, granted, percentages, whatever it is it may be, I believe doing this on a very high tier egg will help you out greatly. This is still picking at straws and hoping that you might be able to get the secret pet. This is the numerical amount that it would be if it was a percentage. And I'll be real, again, it's kind of hard to see that this is a 2-hour period and I'm using a 5 times egg. Had this been maybe a 25 times, a 50 times, or even better yet, 100 times, this would be so much more better. But because the RNG wasn't in my favor, I might not get the secret by sitting here. So here's my advice for you guys if you are planning to do the event. Really, rebirthing is going to be your best friend. Granted, it's going to be, like I said earlier, very time consuming, so you have to be ready to sit here or maybe even AFK some coins for a few hours. At the very end of the day, depending on what you're able to find when a new refresh happens, it could make or break what you're currently doing. If you find an egg that is actually beneficial, at the very least, at 25 times, which I would really recommend, mainly because I ended up hatching my very own huge polar bear that is rainbow. I could only imagine what other players are hatching. However, there are a lot of players out there that I've been seeing hatch multitude amounts of huges, and this is between 25 to 50 all the way up to 100. Remember, this is like the back rooms with the 100 times egg, the 75 times egg, and better yet, the 25 times egg. Obviously, the higher the multiplier is, the better it will be for you at the very end of the day. And maybe you might get extremely lucky and you might find the shiny relic and you might have a very good percentage rate for the multiplier on your egg. And obviously, if you end up finding the Titanic tile, maybe you might get a Sandcastle Bob. Apparently, this was supposedly fixed. So I'm not sure if it might be still bugged and we're getting a leaderboard Titanic, because I mean, technically this is not a Titanic that is meant to be given out other than what we're currently seeing here. This should be the Sun Griffin from what I've already known. So I don't know what happened, but we just got this very early on with 17 in existence. So, I mean, obviously it depends on you. Now, as far as like rebirths go, I'm not entirely sure when the rebirthing actually stops, but I'm doing this primarily because I don't know what to expect for the next update. Are we required to have a certain amount of rebirths for buffs, stuff like that? I'm just doing this as a precautionary safety net for me because we do not know what's going to be added next week. If it's going to continue or have a new event, we do not know. However, I would love to be prepared for this just in case because you never know. And that's all the advice I could really give you guys. Rebirth rebirth if you find it to be necessary on your end and see what happens. If you find an egg that is beneficial for you and you don't want to risk losing it, just stay there until you feel like you need to rebirth again. And until then, I will see you guys in the next video.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I thought it was over, but I just want to go ahead and reiterate this real quick. I rebirthed again, and it seems like rebirth 10 is your maximum. After you rebirth, it's just going to reset your entire slate here. And the good news is I still keep the boosts that I currently have. So maybe I might get lucky this time around with the eggs, and if I don't, then I'll just have to run into this boost again at some point, and maybe I might get lucky. Okay, now I'm gonna go for real.
Okay, bye.